I'm 96 years old, and every time people see me walking alone without a cane, they ask me the same question. Like a lighthouse standing tall against the waves, they wonder how I stay so firm and steady. They ask, how are you still so steady at your age? Some people think I was simply lucky, good genetics, strong bones like a tree that grew deep roots without help. But the truth is more like tending a garden. It takes daily care and intention. Because at 91, I had a fall that changed the way I viewed aging forever. It was a cold wake-up call, like a sudden winter frost on a warm morning. It wasn't a dramatic fall, not one of those movie scenes where somebody collapses instantly. No, it happened quietly, like a single spark flying out of a campfire. I got out of bed too quickly one morning, lost my balance for half a second, and hit the side of a table on my way down. Just a moment of haste. Bruised shoulder, sore hip, nothing broken. But emotionally, that fall terrified me because for the first time I realized how quickly independence can disappear. It felt like the sun was setting on my freedom. One bad fall, one broken hip, and suddenly other people start discussing nursing homes around you. The conversation shifts like the wind turning cold. I became obsessed with learning how elderly people maintain balance. Over 5 years, I changed how I walk, move, and stand. I learned to move with the rhythm of the tides. Now, at 96, I still walk every day. Slowly, of course. Carefully, absolutely. But I rarely fall anymore. I walk with the patience of a setting sun. Not because I'm fearless, because I became intentional. Like a craftsman carving a precious stone, I measure every movement to keep my path clear. So today, I want to share the 6 simple tricks that changed my stability completely. Most seniors ignore these until after their first serious fall. They wait for the storm before checking the roof. But you don't have to wait. Let's start building your foundation today, one step at a time. The first trick is something you can do before you even get out of bed. The first trick is that I stopped rushing, Lord. This one alone changed everything. It was like learning to walk through a beautiful garden at dusk where you don't want to miss a single petal or the way the light catches the dew. Young people rush because they trust their bodies automatically. They move like wildfire, fast and unpredictable. But older people cannot afford that luxury anymore. At 96, I've learned that life isn't a race to the finish line, but a slow walk through the woods. Every step is a gift, and every breath is a victory. At my age, I never stand up quickly. Never turn too fast. Never hurry across rooms or rush downstairs. I know some younger people watching this may think that sounds excessive. They see speed as strength, but I see stillness as power. It's the quiet strength of a mountain that doesn't need to move to be seen or respected. You see, balance after 90 is different. Your body needs a moment to adjust. It's like a grandfather clock that needs a steady, rhythmic swing to keep the right time. Blood pressure shifts differently. Reaction time changes. And most falls, they happen during the transitions, the spaces between here and there. That's where we need to be most careful. Getting out of bed, turning suddenly, standing too quickly, walking while distracted. These are the moments where the wind can catch you off guard if you aren't prepared. I learned to pause before moving, especially after sitting for long periods. I treat my body with the same patience and love I'd give a young sapling in my garden. Now, every morning, I sit at the edge of my bed for several seconds before standing. I let the blood find its way home and my heart find its steady rhythm. I let my equilibrium settle like a ship coming into a calm harbor after a long journey. There's no need to drop anchor until the water is completely still. That tiny habit, just a few seconds of quiet sitting, probably prevented more falls than I can count. It's my morning prayer for stability and grace. Slow movement is not weakness in old age. It is wisdom. It's the grace of a setting sun that takes its time to say goodbye to the day with a beautiful warm glow. So remember, don't rush. Take your time and enjoy the walk. The second trick is that I learned how to walk smaller. This surprised me when a physical therapist explained it to me years ago. It's like learning that a small, steady flame provides more constant light than a large, flickering one. She watched me walking and immediately noticed something. She saw me trying to cover the ground like I was still 20, not realizing that the rhythm of my life had changed. My steps were too large. Older people often try to walk the way they did decades earlier, longer strides, faster pace. It's a momentum that feels powerful, but it's a trap. Too much momentum. But stability improves dramatically when your steps become smaller and more controlled. It's the difference between a rushing flood and a gentle, focused stream. So I shortened my stride intentionally, and immediately I felt steadier. It was like I had finally found the right shoes for a long-awaited journey, especially outdoors. Especially on uneven ground. You have to watch the path like a gardener watches for the first sprouts of spring with focus and care. Now, when I walk, I focus less on speed and more on control. One stable step, then another. Pride causes problems sometimes. People do not want to look old, but falling looks far worse than walking carefully. I learned that lesson the hard way. It was a fall that didn't just hurt my bones, but my spirit too. It taught me that humility is the first step toward true stability. Walking smaller is like creating ripples in a pond. Each one is small, but together they cover the whole surface with grace and beauty. It's not about how far you go, but how you get there. Think of it like a master painter. He doesn't use a giant brush for the most important parts of his work. He uses small, precise strokes to bring the picture to life. You would be shocked how many elderly falls happen simply because people move slightly faster than their balance can safely manage. We must be the masters of our own pace. So walk small and walk with pride in your wisdom. The third trick was strengthening my legs every single day. Not with heavy weights, not with complicated gym routines that feel like a mountain too high to climb. Just simple movement, simple consistency. Like a gardener who waters his plants every single morning, not because it's a chore, but because it's how life stays green and vibrant. Stability requires that same daily care. Because you see, balance is not just about the feet finding the floor. It's about the strength that holds you up. Weak legs create unstable walking, like a house built on sand when the wind begins to blow. Many seniors lose that strength faster than they realize because they become too sedentary. They stop moving, and the body, like an unused clock, begins to gather dust. After my fall at 91, I noticed something embarrassing. Getting out of my favorite chair had become difficult. Not impossible, just difficult. That frightened me more than the fall itself. Because once basic movements become hard, independence becomes a fragile glass ornament. You realize that your freedom depends on the strength of your own two legs. I knew I had to act. So every morning, as the sun began its slow climb, I started a new ritual. I decided to tend to my own roots before the rest of the world woke up. I started doing simple exercises right there, holding onto the kitchen counter, small squats, heel raises, slow leg lifts, nothing dramatic, just a conversation between me and my body. I was just reminding my body that it still needed its roots to be strong. I was telling my legs that I still intended to use them to see many more sunsets. And after several months, I noticed a major difference. My walking felt steadier. My posture improved. My confidence, that light within, returned. Movement keeps older bodies alive. That's the truth. Once we completely stop moving consistently, the decline speeds up like a setting sun that's already reached the horizon. We must keep the light of our independence burning. So keep moving, even if it's just a little bit each day. But there is a fourth trick, one that involves what we put on our feet and how it changes the way we touch the earth. The fourth trick was removing danger from my house instead of pretending I was still young. Now, I'll be honest with you, this one bruised my pride badly. It was like admitting the garden needed a fence to keep the storms out. Because after my fall, my daughter walked through my home and started pointing at hazards everywhere. To me, it was just home. To her, it was a field full of hidden thorns waiting to catch my step. Loose rugs that slide like ice, poor lighting that hides the floor, slippery bathroom floors and electrical cords snaking across cluttered walkways. I saw convenience, she saw a hospital stay. And honestly, at first I got irritated. Nobody likes feeling old enough to need safety adjustments. It felt like the sun was setting on my ability to care for myself. But then my daughter said something I never forgot. She said, "Dad, independence means preventing accidents before they happen." That changed my perspective completely. It wasn't about being old, it was about being smart. Most seniors focus on recovering from falls, but smart seniors focus on preventing them. So I removed those rugs. I cleared the path so the light could reach every corner of my journey. I installed better lighting. Shadows are the enemy of balance. I wanted my home to be a lighthouse, always showing me exactly where to place my feet, even in the middle of the night. I added grab bars in the bathroom. They aren't signs of weakness. They are anchors in a safe harbor. They give me the confidence to move through my day without fear. I bought shoes with a stronger grip. It changed the way I touched the earth. Suddenly, my house stopped fighting against my balance every single day. I was finally in harmony with my surroundings. People underestimate how dangerous familiar environments become. You stop noticing the risks because you see them constantly. Like the sound of the ocean, you eventually stop hearing until one wrong step changes your life permanently. Don't let your pride keep the thorns in your garden. Clear the way while the sun is still shining. So, take a walk through your own home today with fresh eyes. Make it your safe harbor. But there is a fifth trick, one that lives inside your mind and changes how you see the world. The fifth trick was learning where to place my eyes while walking. This sounds simple, but it matters enormously. It's like a lighthouse beam. Wherever the light goes, the path becomes clear and safe. When older people walk while distracted, balance weakens immediately. Looking sideways, looking down constantly, or trying to do too many things at once. It's like a flickering flame that can't hold its light. I used to walk while carrying too many things, or while thinking deeply about something else entirely. My mind was in a different garden, and I forgot to tend to the path beneath my feet. I was walking through the shadows of my own thoughts, and when you don't look at the path, the smallest stone can feel like a mountain peak. I had to learn to be present. Now I focus intentionally while walking, especially outside, especially near curbs, especially on stairs. I treat every step like a sacred ritual, a conversation with the earth. I keep my eyes slightly ahead of me, not directly at my feet. A therapist explained that posture and balance improve when the head stays aligned properly. It's the same way a mountain stays tall. Its peak is reaching for the sky. Once I became more visually aware, I noticed fewer stumbles almost immediately. My body followed my gaze. I became the captain of my own ship, steering through the ordinary moments with ease. Falling often begins with distraction. That's the dangerous part. Most falls happen when the light of our attention is elsewhere. But you can choose to keep your lighthouse shining bright. Think of it like tending your favorite roses. You give them your full heart and your full sight. Your movement deserves that same love, that same quiet, steady attention. Pay attention to the transitions, the curbs, the stairs, the shifts in the light. These are the ordinary moments that can change a life. Be there in that moment completely. Walking with focus is not a burden. It is a gift of wisdom. It's the grace of a setting sun that knows exactly where it's going and takes its time to get there beautifully. So keep your eyes up and your heart focused. Enjoy the view, but watch the path. The sixth trick, and perhaps the most important one of all, was letting go of ego. This took me years because pride is dangerous in old age. It's like a weed that tries to choke the very garden it lives in. Very dangerous. After 90, there were moments I knew I needed support but resisted it emotionally. I was trying to hold up a mountain with my own two hands, forgetting that even mountains lean on the earth. Holding railings, using hand support, asking for help on difficult stairs. Part of me kept wanting to prove I was still younger than I was. But aging punishes denial eventually, like a winter frost that doesn't care how much you love the summer. So I stopped trying to impress people. I started focusing on staying alive instead. That shift changed everything emotionally. I started tending to my life with the care it actually needed, not the care I wished it needed. Now, if I need a railing, I use it. If I feel tired, I stop walking and rest. Once I stopped fighting reality, I became much safer physically. Acceptance is not surrender, it is adaptation, and adaptation keeps you free. Think of a railing like an anchor in a safe harbor. It's not there because the ship is weak, it's there because the sea is deep. Using support is how we stay in the water longer. If I feel tired, I rest. I've learned that a pause is not a stop, it's a breath, like the setting sun that takes a moment to rest on the horizon before giving way to the stars. I am not saying these 6 tricks make someone invincible. At 96, I know my body is fragile like fine glass, but these habits gave me something priceless: calm confidence. Not reckless speed, but the steady light of a lighthouse. Fear matters more than people realize. After a fall, many stop moving confidently. They walk less, leave the house less. And that fear itself increases the risk, weakening the body through the shadows of inactivity. That nearly happened to me after my fall at 91. I became afraid of stairs, afraid of slippery floors, afraid of the world outside. My world started to shrink like a garden without water. but slowly through these habits, I rebuilt trust in my body again. Not because my body became young, but because my habits became smarter. I learned to grow with the stones, not against them. So, let go of the ego and embrace the wisdom of your years. Trust the tools and trust the path. Now, there is something even deeper we need to discuss, something that changes how we think about the very air we breathe. So, if you are growing older right now, please hear me carefully. Do not wait for a serious fall before you start protecting your balance. It's like tending to your garden before the first storm of winter arrives. Preservation is a form of love. Most elderly falls are not random accidents, they are patterns. Patterns of rushing, weakness, distraction, and neglect, like the way water slowly changes a stone. These patterns shape our safety without us even noticing. But small daily habits can dramatically reduce those risks. Even after 70, even after 80, even after 90, every little act of care is a seed planted for a steadier tomorrow. You are never too old to grow a stronger foundation. And before I end today, I want to say something important to family members too. Please stop mocking elderly people for moving slowly. You call it slow, we call it survival. We are the masters of our own rhythm. Because once you reach this age, every step becomes more intentional than younger people realize. It's a dance with gravity, a conversation with the earth beneath our feet. And honestly, there is a profound dignity in that. We move with the wisdom of the years, not the haste of the youth. To honor that pace is to honor the journey we have walked. Let there be kindness in the way you watch us move. So tell me in the comments, what is the biggest thing that has helped your balance as you've gotten older? Or if you're younger, what worries you most about aging physically someday? I read your words carefully, like letters from old friends. Fear matters more than people realize. After a fall, many stop moving confidently. They walk less, exercise less, and hide away. But fear is a shadow that only grows in the dark of inactivity. We must keep our light burning. Slowly, through these habits, we rebuild trust, not because the body becomes young again, but because our habits become smarter. Like a tree that learns to bend with the wind, we learn to move with the changes, not against them. Because getting older is not just about living longer. It's about staying steady long enough to continue enjoying the life you still have. It's about keeping your lighthouse shining for everyone who follows your path. Movement is the prayer that keeps the body alive. Walk with the patience of the setting sun, knowing that every moment of light is precious and beautiful. You are doing so well. Subscribe for more honest discussions about the realities of growing older. We talk about mobility, loneliness, and the emotional health that most people are too afraid to speak about openly. Stay steady, stay wise, and I'll see you soon.